Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, boys and girls. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia. TheMostMen.com is the website. That's MEN, TheMostMen, MEN.com. And info at TheMostMen, MEN.com is our email. We're also on Rumble now. Join us over there on Rumble. Rumble's doing a good job. They're not censoring anybody over there. They're letting everybody talk what the hell they want to talk about. All right. So, get your man card. Get your man kit. Your 12-step recovery program. How to maintain, retain. All your cool swag. Swag coming. New koozies. We got all sorts of cool swag coming to the new man kit. So, how we all doing out there? How we doing today, Tyler?
Feeling great, man. It's feeling great.
There you go.
It's Thursday. It's beautiful outside. Nice 97 degrees.
Yep.
Feels real cool now.
How many shots of espresso are in that thing?
They said there's 4.
Yeah, no wonder you're awake now.
Yeah, man. That linguine or
Fettuccine.
Oh God, that brought me down.
Oh yeah, big tub of pasta, cream sauce, and yeah,
5 breasts of chicken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, they're not afraid to feed you down there. Shout out Italy Pizza and Pasta Fort Worth. They're not afraid to feed you down there. Okay. So what is Most Man? What is the purpose of a Most Man? Well, we're going to get back to the this one's going to be about basically what the Most Man concept, okay? Number one is, what is a Most Man? What's the concept of Most Man? What's the purpose? What's the goals? And what the future plans of what we want to do with the Most Man. This started to kind of get all over the map. It didn't get all over the map. We just started veering off into several different. We didn't know that it was going to move this fast, right? And get this, not that we're getting all the attention in the world. That's not what I'm saying. Just the vastness of what happens on the internet and how you can make money and all that kind of stuff. So I've really gotten tuned with that part of the business side of it. And I really want to, I'll get into that here in a minute. So we're going to stick with Most Man, what Most Man is supposed to be, and the concept of Most Man. Stick with that. And then we're starting some other shows. Like Tim's starting a show called Timmy Time. That's where he goes off and does his Timmy rants and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing another show. I don't want to announce it yet because we haven't said the exact name in stone, but I've got a pretty good one. And that's going to be center, right, and left, daily, just regular stuff that's going on every day. It's going to be a daily show. We're going to hammer in politics. We're going after both sides because they're both idiots. They're both assholes. They're both lazy. They're both stupid. It's just the whole thing they got going on up there is just pathetic. So, but we're going to keep that out of Most Man. We don't need Most Man being political because Most Man, this doesn't discriminate over here. Again, it's this. The concept of Most Man is building better men. Okay. To wet the whistle there. Make sure I get it right. Okay. This is about building better men. Okay. So what a Most Man is this is how it's got its birth. That's how this whole thing started. I'm married with 2 kids, 2 girls. Very successful for my age. Everything was going great. I had a house at the coast. I had a boat. I took people offshore fishing as a charter service. That was another one of my businesses. My business up here in the DFW Metroplex did real well. So what I'm getting at, my life was good at home for our family. I set up our family to start out life right. Nobody had to worry about anything. I had the money taken care of, the house, the school district, everything that most families want to do out there, right? Good, safe community for your kids to grow up in. So I'm at home one day, and so this is why we talk about most men, okay? My wife started going, most men would want to take out the garbage for their wife. Most men would want to do this on Sunday with their wife. Most men would want to do this with their kids on after they get off work. Most men would want to do this. Most men. I said, hey, if you want a most man, I'm not one, okay? Like, I've got my shit together. Like, you don't have to tell me to take out the garbage. You don't have to tell me to cut the yard. You don't have to tell me that the rent's due or the mortgage is due and blah, blah, blah. All that's taken care of. I'm a businessman. I'm a fisherman. I'm a man. Like, I don't need to be led down the walkway with a leash. You know, I'm good. Like, you don't have to ask me to do anything. I get all my shit done. So I go down to the coast with my cousin, and I'm like, hey, man, you getting this most man shit at home? You know, and he was like, yeah, you know the drill. Happy wife, happy life. You got to turn in your man card, give your balls back, you know, and just accept that 100 divided by 2 is 50 if you fuck up. And I was like, I don't think so, man. So they married us for who we were. They fell in love with who we were, and that's a man. Like, they married us for who we were. Aside from maybe us being good protectors and what's the other word they use of us financial wise? Provider. So, allergies. Welcome to Texas. Okay. So I was like, I don't think so, man. That's bullshit. And of course, we're drinking, and I'm like, nah, we need to start a company because over here, serial entrepreneur. Anytime a good idea comes my way, I'm like, boom, got to do it. So I said, no, we need to start a company. Back then, prices, thanks Joe Biden for all the inflation we got now. Shit cost a hell of a lot more than it did back then. But I was like, hell, man, for $69.95, you get it all back. You get your man card, you get your balls back, you get your 12-step recovery program, which rule number 1 of the 12-step recovery program is when you put your foot down, it hits the fucking ground. Okay? It means you stand for something, but doesn't mean it gives you a reason to go home and be a jerk to your wife or your girlfriend or fiance or whatever. You want to be treated like a man? You got to act like a man. Stand tall. Stand strong. Okay? Then all the cool swag comes with it. So, once you get your man kit, you get your card back, you get your balls back, you've joined the men's club. I forgot to put that one in there. Jointhemensclub.com. We have that. So once you get your man kit, you've joined the men's club. You're in the men's club now. Okay? You're with your peers, you're with like-minded people, and we help each other out. Stay out of stupid situations, decisions that are going to wreck your life. Okay? So that's the concept of most man, is you don't want to be a most man. A most man is a guy that you see walking in Lowe's. You see him walking to the mailbox. You see the way he walks in the grocery store. You see the man that's just fucking giving up on life and saying, hey, I'm married. 100 divided by 2 is 50. She makes all the rules. I don't call any of the shots. She runs the house. She runs the kids. I'm just a walking, talking ATM machine, but I've just given up and accepted that I have no leverage in this thing. BS. They want a real man, even if you've been married for a long time. That's where they lose respect for us, is if we give up what we are. That's why that's where they lose respect. That's where the respect is lost. They test us for a reason, to see if we're going to give. It's all about give and take. But if you don't give, they don't take. But they'll take if you give. So the whole thing is you don't want to be a most man. But there's most man moments in everything that you do, I do, you do, We all have the tendencies, but the whole thing is that let's correct that. So the most man concept, joining the men's club, is about building better men. That's what this is about. There's a lot of people out there. You know, you can listen to one of my other podcasts of my life story of why I started. So back then, this was 20 years ago, or no, it's probably 15 years ago. But they didn't have, YouTube was getting started. Socials weren't is what they are now. I couldn't figure out a way to market this thing back then. So but the concept of it was every time I told somebody about it, they're like, man, that's fucking awesome. That'd be fun. Shit. But the thing was, I couldn't figure out how to market it unless we were just going to go hang out in bars and clubs and all that kind of stuff. And when you're when you say goodbye to the bar scene, you kind of say goodbye to the bar scene, right? So that is the concept and the purpose. But we're going to get in it today. I'm gonna let Tyler talk. So basically, what this one is about. So I've given you the concept of most men. If you need clarity on anything, let me know, and I'll be able to clarify it. But the thing is, it's about building better men. Because the world's a better place when we have good, strong men. And they're trying to yank it out of society right now. And I'm not saying that we're going to stop it, but we're going to do our fair share to make sure that they get as least of you as possible. You know, we're not here to brainwash anybody. We're not here to do, it's just man up. Because the women out there, Tyler, the women out there are looking for real men. They don't want these fucking beta males. They don't. They're looking for real men. Even though that society says once they get out of their little young girl phase or whatever, they're looking for a man. They will drop you like a hot rock if you're not. I'm in the dating scene now. I went through a divorce. Now all the girls in my age group, they're like, man, we fucked up with y'all. Now, will you give me a second chance? No. I'm going to get me a young one that hadn't made the mistakes you made. Deal with the mistakes you made. Yeah, you did. Y'all caused all this shit. WNBA, women's soccer. Ask the feminists, where are they? Why aren't they showing up to y'all's games? You know why? Because they're watching the men because they want the men on the field and on the practice or the court. You know, they're not into feminism like they say. Once shit hits the fan, that feminism goes out the window. Then all of a sudden, they're looking for men. Well, most men out there, let's rewrite it. Let's get it right. Okay? So, take it away, Tyler.
Well, you are hitting the nail on the head. So, it's kind of a hard game to play against them because most men don't really, I mean, probably now they do, but I don't think most men have really understood that this war has been waged against them either, you know? Because it starts as soon as you're born. So, like, figuring out that this silent game is being played against you by a collaborative amount of people is really difficult to come to the conclusion of. And anytime you ever start asking questions, you're probably going to start asking that demographic, like, hey, what's going on here? And they're just going to misdirect you so you don't figure it out. So it's like an uphill battle. And if the majority of men don't know that, then they will stay silent and dumb. And the way that the movies and TV shows and media and everything makes us seem like in characters
like it's normal.
Right. They make abnormal characters normal. So then if you act what is really normal, then you're abnormal.
And the outcast.
Yeah, and the outcast. And then everybody hates you just because of your simple demeanor. Oh, you're angry. You're mad. Just a serious person. I have a lot of things to do. I'm dedicated. I'm not a goofball. Just like, you know, life's hard. I got things to execute, knock out. Well, I don't like your attitude. What attitude? Like, they want men, but they hate them at the same time. And like, you're not doing anything. You're just doing what you got to do to get through life and provide and earn and build. You're just doing the things that you're supposed to do. And so they make you not do it, and then they hate it when you don't do it.
Well, it's the test. It's the test. Are you gonna give in? It's the test. Okay, so I did a pilot program on this. I went to a bunch of bars and just functions where a lot of people were. Listen to this. Exactly what you're saying. All the women. This is not a hit piece on women. Let's get that straight right now. Because women, do you know in the pilot program that it was a 60-40 split? 60% men, 40% women. The 40% of the, now I'm not saying every woman loved it, but the women in large were like, this is a great idea. I'll buy this kit for my husband right now, or for my boyfriend, or for my son, or for like, I've been asking my husband to get off the couch and go get in shape. I'm hitting my sexual peak, but I don't want some fat tubbalard that's drunk every night on top of me. You the reason why you're not getting any action in the bedroom. Come on, man. Get yourself in shape. Who wants to? Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover over here. I'm built for power, not for speed. Okay, but I'm just saying that women lose respect for us when we just give in, give up. That's not what they want. They want it at the time. They want it when it works for them in that time frame, right? Like, for instance, you don't have any kids, okay? You're not married. You haven't been married yet, have you?
Nope.
Okay. Well, when you get married, this is what happens. Everything that's happened in the honeymoon phase, I'm not saying every woman does this, but as soon as you shove that piece of cake in her mouth and y'all go home, the next morning you wake up, we're married now. That's the conversation that you have. All right, I'm going to go do this. Hang on, hold on. We're married now. We have to discuss it. I have to discuss it with you. I go to work every day. I don't need to discuss that with you. Get to work. What are you doing? I'm working. 2 hours later. Hey, honey, how you doing? Good. Hey, how you doing, honey? What are you doing? The same thing I was doing the last time you called. I'm working. Okay. I was just wondering what you were doing. Okay. 3 hours later. Hey, what are you doing? Working. Same thing I was doing. The same thing I've done since I've known you. Every day I work. Okay? That's what keeps the lights on, the mortgage, your car insurance, everything that you wanted. I have to work in order for all that stuff to stick around. And so the kids come along. Okay? Kids come along. And, well, you have a kid now. You can't take your career as serious as you used to take it. Why? Isn't that why? When we got married, it was, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Okay, fine. I'd rather you be a stay-at-home mom. I don't want my kids raised in a daycare. Cool. I'll work extra hard so you can stay home.
Right.
Okay? Yeah. Until they get what they want. Then now they got kids, and they realize that kids are not as easy as what it looked like when they were doing Barbie and all that shit that's on TV. Oh, let's do play dates. Let's do this. That's going to be so fun. With the girls, we're going to do this. Young women out there, y'all all want kids. You know you do. They are little mini tornadoes. They fuck up everything in their path. Yeah, they're cute. But there are many Tasmanian devils is what they are. 20 hours a day. Until they turn 18 and you can kick their fucking ass out. Yeah. Love my kids to death. Love some of them more than others. But what I'm getting at is everything changes, okay? And that's how most man develops, is he gets into that phase of, fuck, I'm married now. Kids on the way. Got to be responsible. Well, but we take pride in that. Men. We take pride in taking care of our wife, our kids, our home, our whole situation. That fills a man up with pride, knowing that he can go out and do that, to where he's providing a lifestyle to where we want to do that for y'all. That makes us feel good. Okay? But they slowly, incrementally, and I don't know if they do it on purpose or if it just comes natural to them, or it's just because they sit at home and they talk on the phone with all their girlfriends and like, oh my God, John's got to work till 5 tonight. I know. Steve said he's going to have to work till 5:30. Well, as soon as he gets home, I'm handing him the kids. I've been slaving away, sitting on this couch all day long. It's his turn to go play with the kids. So as soon as you walk in, boom. It's like, whoa, can I not take a shower? Can I not grab a beer? Can I sit down and take my shoes off? Or boom. Not saying every woman does that. Not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that's what creates the most man, little by little by little by little by little. And all of a sudden it's just like, fuck, man. I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. And I get zero. Now, this is what I'm saying about rule number 1. It's when you put your foot down, it hits the ground. You got to say no. No. I'm going to go take a shower. This is what you wanted. You wanted to stay at home and take care of the kids. That's what this is. Okay, but I'm not that type of guy that walks in, hey, I need dinner ready. I need a cold beer, dinner, foot massage. No. If I miss dinner because I work late, I'll fix me a sandwich or cook me a pizza or whatever. I'll take care of myself. I don't need to be fed like a freaking king. That's not the kind of household that we ran, that's not the way I am. Yeah, if I need to feed myself, I'll feed myself. But my point is that if you budge, and it's not being an asshole. You're not being an asshole, but you're standing up for what is right. And they want that right. But at that point in that moment where it just seems easier, if he'll just do, night duty, well, no. That's when you're supposed to spend time as a family, get your family time in, tuck the kids in bed, then mommy and daddy have a relationship time. Well, all that shit goes out the window when you have kids. You think that it won't, but it does. And that's where the process goes down. She doesn't mean for it to happen. He doesn't mean for it to happen, but it just happens. Well, in my generation, that's kind of how it happened. We've had this talk with Tim. Tim went into a different generation. You're 35. You're a different generation. Things are different in your generation what they were in mine. Okay? But in my generation, that's kind of how it went. Everybody that I knew, I was like, man, you going through this? Oh, yeah, man, fuck, man, it's crazy. We give them everything they want, and it's just not enough. And it's like, well, when's enough? So that's how most man was started is there's a way to come back. There is a way to come back. And it took me leaving my ex-wife the first time. It took me leaving to let her know I was serious. And she begged me back. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm not gonna take up this whole time, but because I want to get kind of your perspective here too. But I had to leave her to show that, like, look, shit's gonna change around here. I'm out of here. I'm not paying for this. You know what I mean? Like I'd rather give you a fat check and get the hell out of here. And you need to go get you a job and figure out how the real world works. Well, she didn't like that when it happened because I did move out. Moved out, wrote her a big check, put it on the countertop, and I was like, okay, this is what you wanted. This is what you got. Wasn't 24 hours later, she's begging me back. You got to put your foot down, okay? But I didn't do it like a jerk. I didn't leave her high and dry. I didn't do any of that. She was well taken care of. But all I wanted, the 3 things that I wanted changed, all it took for me to come back and everything to be okay is I wanted a clean house, however it happened, even if I got to pay for a freaking maid, okay? I want a clean house. I want to be respected in my house. And I want you to take care of the house. Don't tear it up. That's it. Those are my 3. Is that too much to ask?
Nope. Pretty normal.
Well,
that's pretty standard.
Yeah. You know, it's much easier to be clean. So that is what and those men, that's what happens to them, and they're everywhere out there. They're everywhere. They just figured out that 100 divided by 2 is 50. It's better just to put up with the bullshit and be unhappy. That's not what life is about, man. And after gone through this divorce, it's on a podcast why I went through a divorce. I don't want to go through it today because, you know, it is what it is. But it never should have happened. But now she's realizing, you know, and everybody's realizing, oh, man, that was done over nothing. He wasn't that bad of a guy, you know. But my point being is that that's how it happens. And you got to stand up. Or not standing up to her. Stand up for yourself. Go to the gym. Get back in shape. Be better at your job at work. You know, say, hey, look, I'm taking it back. I'm taking my life back. I'm going to be who I want to be. And I'm going to be happy. I'm not saying that buying your man kit is going to make you happy. Okay? But if you're living in that situation at home, and there's a ton of you out there, I've been there. There's a lot of happy marriages out there, too. I'm not saying everybody's in the same situation. There's a lot of happy couples out there. But I think the majority is more than the happy. You know, there's a lot of people out there just muddling through life going, fuck. Is this what it's supposed to be? And then you have on top of what's going on right now with these psychopaths up and trying to push all this shit on us and take all mankind and manhood out of society. People have had enough. Men have had enough. Most men have had enough. Okay? We have had enough. We're not putting up with this bullshit no more. Young men aren't putting up with this bullshit. They don't want to go through what they saw their cousins and moms and dads go through. They don't want that. That's why they're not having kids. That's why they're not getting married. They don't want to go through that bullshit. But there's nothing wrong with getting married and having kids. That's what we're supposed to do. We're here to procreate. That's again, another show. I don't want to make it political. That's how we veered off. That's why we're having this one. Is what's happening with our government and all that, but I don't want that to be here. I want this to be positive and productive for other people out there and for us. Not saying that we're going to save the world, but we're going to do our part. Okay? So, got any comments on that?
Lots of comments. I don't even know where to start. I mean, hit the nail on the head in so many areas. Areas I don't have any experience in yet, having kids, getting married. I've had enough relationships, and you know, I'm old enough to understand the dynamics of being leveraged and pushed around. But you know, I think what the reason this podcast is going to be so great for guys is that if you just think about the day you're born through your life, like you can remember back most of your life, right? Women have been getting dating advice and coaching since they were born, and we haven't. All that we've heard is that we just go find the perfect one and stick to our religious morals and find the first one and try your hardest to get married to that. But so many girls have already had relationships by the time you meet them. They've had more experiences, which makes them think that they've matured faster just because they have more experience in that area. We don't have any dating advice at all. Like, we're running into this world lost, blind, having to figure it out. Can't see things for our own because nobody's telling us. While the other side's getting told everything in the world, every detail, aspect, past experience through a mature person. Like, watch out for this guy, that guy, this, all this advice. We don't get anything at all, So we're all running around like chickens with their heads cut off, just trying to figure it out. We're getting destroyed left and right. So that's why I think it's where do you start to turn that around? Because, like you said, how are you and I going to be able to make that difference? We can't broadcast this to every single person, like guy on the planet, to like open their eyes to it, But we have to start somewhere. Starting somewhere is better than starting nowhere.
Yeah, and you made the point, a perfect point on another podcast of that they've had us caged for so long, but we've broken the fence, but we're just crawling.
Right.
And that was the perfect analogy of where, because that's where we are right now with this whole, men have had enough. Young men, future young men, that millennial men, they can't even find, they can't even find, we're not even going to get into the millennials. The millennials are, I'm not saying they're, but they don't even know how to find anybody. I mean, they can barely navigate through life just as is. But you made the perfect point of that we've broken the fence, but we're crawling. And I'm glad we're there because I can see the movement. I can see that the movement has started. Again, we're just going to do our part. Okay? But again, this isn't a hit on women. Like I said, women want real men.
Yep.
They want manly men. They don't want this milquetoast stuff that's going on.
But they've been programmed to compete with us, and it's not in our interest, like, at all, to compete with them, right? So when they start trying to compete with us and be bigger and stronger and not feel like smaller, insecure, weaker, or whatever, because that hurts their subconscious, right? So they don't want to be weaker or smaller. They're human beings, right? So they still want to be as strong as possible, but they're trying to like fill your roles. And what they deep down quietly want you to do is to outperform them and push them back into their role. But if you don't know that's what they're doing, then you're just not going to like compete with them. Like, I was dating this girl a long time ago, and she had to go get some air in her tires, and she pulled up to the little air pump thing, and she jumped out of the car. I'm doing it. I was like, okay, sure. So I just sat in the passenger seat, and then, and then she acted like I was some weak dude after that. I'm like,
yeah,
are you okay? You're putting air in your tires, and like it's a manly thing to do, and you're gonna do it. I didn't ask if I was going to. I mean, if she barely even put it in park and jumped out. So it's a stupid game that nobody like
wants
most
to play.
men. Yeah, most men don't know that they're playing this game with them. Like, I'm gonna take your role away from you, but you need to stop me. And if you do stop me, you're gonna like go to jail. So it's just the dumbest shit, man. It's gotta come to an end. The only way that's gonna end is if we beat them at their own game. But you have to realize that they're playing it. Then you have to escape their little blueprint for when you do wake up and try
to just play their game. Figure out the game and play it. It's just like all the fucking weirdos out there masking up again. Me and Tyler came up with this. I'm not going to take credit for it, but I've used it 2 or 3 times, and it's funny as shit to watch the reaction on these people's face. I was coming back from vacation, and that's what I said this morning. This guy got up. I went to get up and go to the bathroom, and this other guy was coming back from the bathroom, but his seat was past mine. So I kind of had to walk past his seat so he could get in to where I could go. Well, she had to get out. So he was a big Sasquatch like you. And he was trying to get in, and she's standing in my face with a mask on, but she's staring at me like, like looking at me like, what are you doing standing here? And I'm like, hey, what are you doing with do you have COVID? Why do you have that mask on? No answer. I said, seriously, do you have COVID? Are you a super spreader? You're on a flight right now with COVID. Is that why you got a mask on? Play their game. They don't like it when it's played to them.
It's part of the keep crawling thing, because then you can turn around and push them back down, because that's their game. Push you down, push you back in your box.
Well, it's because they've got the control right now. The nerds have got the control. The beta males out there have got the control. The beta males are sitting there going, oh, I'll show you. Well, we're going to come show you again. I mean, come on. This bullshit's got to end. I mean, so, but again, this isn't a hit on women. To treat women with respect. There's a lot of good women out there. There's still a lot of good ones out there, but they're just taken. Man, men, when they find a good one, let's get this one off the market. Same thing with girls. I'm in the dating pool right now. Man, they have tried to mop me. I'm like, look, I'm not looking to get in another relationship right now. I was in a 20-year one. I like my freedom right now. No, I don't treat them like dogs, but it's just like, look, I'm sorry you fucked up the first time. I didn't fuck up the first time, and I didn't fuck up in my marriage, and I didn't fuck up at the end. And I'm not looking to duplicate or replicate or save somebody that fucked it up. I'm waiting for a good one to come around. Sorry. That's it.
A lot of the good ones are hiding at home, too. Like, they're not...
They don't want to play the game.
No, they're reclusing. And, like you were talking about, like, the government being behind a lot of it. I mean, I would say they're probably the core infection.
Oh, yeah.
But it's really the machine. And women are going to have to fight the machine as hard as we do, too. Like, give an example, right? It's people are like, oh, it's society. I mean, yes and no, but it's really a propaganda machine. Like, if you look at that new Barbie movie, all it was about was, like, toxic masculinity, misogyny, and all these stupid things that nobody knows what they're talking about. Well, the end of the movie, the conclusion of the movie was it's time to put men back in their box, which goes back to what we were talking about, the putting them back in their cage. Same concept.
No.
It's in your face. Like, if you don't believe it, you can go watch I haven't seen the movie, but I've just heard a lot of people say that. The end of the movie, they literally say it's time to put them back in their box, back in the cage. It's the same thing. Like, it's so many women subscribe to that they're just like feeding off of the.
But they were told by their mothers and their grandmothers and all that. That's what I'm saying. That's that whole I am woman, hear me roar shit. Okay. I remember whenever I first, and I had my ex-wife was not a bad. I wouldn't have married her if she was a bad woman. I got the pick of the litter out of her family. I mean, she was the best choice for sure. She was cool until she just figured out what stay-at-home motherhood looked like, over and over and over again. That's where we grew apart. But what I'm getting at is that it was always, I can do without, I can make it without a man. Oh yeah? I don't think so. But their mothers ingrained that. I can't tell you how many times I heard it in my household.
Yep.
You need to be able to take care of yourself. You don't need to lean on a man until it's time to lean on a man. Well, that's a man's job. Well, of course it's a man's job. You get out and mow the yard. Or you get out and trim the trees or flat tire or whatever. Anytime shit gets real, that's a man's job. And the answer is, no, it's not. It's 50-50. If you want 50-50, it's 50-50. Right?
Yep.
So, But the whole point of Most Man is to or the concept, prevent this from happening to you, stop it from happening to you. If it's happening to you, figure out a way to get you out of it, or at least mitigate it. And if you're in it, get you out of it. Okay? So that's where I'm going into the goals of what this company is going to be about. We're going to have fun. This podcast is the men's club. This is where we come to have fun. Okay? But as we build this company, the future goals, plans, all of that, we're going to have a lot of fun along the way. We're going to have cool swag. We're going to have cool memberships. We're going to have cool stuff that's fun. And it's not like we don't want to make it like, we'll make our money in other areas, okay? We want it to be a fun experience for you, to where you feel like you can have fun and you can be around your peers. You're in the men's club, right? But if you're in a relationship, your woman is going to want the 12 tenets of what we're talking about, the 12-step recovery program. You know, sorry, NAAA, we took it. But our 12 tenets, your woman is going to want you to, and we're going to add to those list of tenets. There's going to be so many men out there that are going to add to those tenets. Not even funny. Okay? So, your woman wants you to be this. And women are great. They're fun and all of that, but it's when we start losing our way and we start giving up and that's when they lose respect for us. So we need to prevent it, stop it, mitigate it, and resurrect. Okay? Clip that up. Okay? That's some of our slogans. Okay? Or could be. I don't want to forget that one.
Resurrect.
Resurrect, yeah. Resurrection's good. Resurrect is good. Erections are even better at my age.
Resurrect the erect.
Yeah. So, what I'm saying is, women they secretly want it. They're either going to tell you they want it, they're telling you that they want it. It's why they're bitching at you. Women bitch for a reason, because you're not holding up your end of your stick, or they're trying to break you down. Just got to figure out which one it is. Pick up your end of the stick. If your stick needs to be picked up, pick it up. Okay? Women bitch for a reason, or they've got a plan. Okay? You need to figure out which one it is. Are you wrong? Are you right? And if you're right, stick to being right. And if you're wrong, fix the wrong. Make the wrong right. That simple. Because could you imagine life without women?
That's not life.
No. I could do without the crazy ones. No, let's go. Crazy, full tank crazy. They're all crazy, and they know they are. They know it for a fact.
Yeah, the full scale crazy though. They're like little Satan worshipers.
No, I don't even know if they know what Satan means, but the devil's living through them. My Jesus Christ, I've got one living next door to me. Either they're too stupid to know, or they are. But I mean, that crazy, keep that shit. So, but but the future plans is to build think tanks, conferences, as we grow. I want to have like, whether it be memberships or payments or whatever, I want y'all to get something for that. So basically, I'll use an example. This is the easy example I can use, but there's so many professions and it could be business, it could be medical, it could be, counseling, it could be law, it could be anything. But the easiest example I can give you is, let's just say, as the men's club grows, right? we've got, let's just use a good round number. We've got 500 people, right? Okay. They don't have to go once a month or join in once a month, but once a month, I could say, okay, have my attorney come in and everybody pay $50, $100, whatever, right? And have a live where everybody could join live. Or as it grows, we can do this at a seminar or whatever. But my attorney could come in and say, okay, hey, young men that are about to get married or are married, men that are married thinking about getting a divorce, men that are ready to get a divorce. Okay. We'll do a 3-hour live. Okay? So for $50 or $100 or part of your membership, if we did a membership, we'll figure out how we're going to do that. But okay, let's just say that I bring in my attorney for 3 hours or 2 hours, whatever, and we're on a Zoom to where everybody has access to him. This club or this set price that we set. They've got 3 hours with my attorney to where he can tell you what you need to do before you get married, how to prepare to protect yourself, because you can protect yourself before you get married. Trust me, I did it. Know what you're getting into when you get married, what that means to everything, whether it's your family money, your career, your job, your cars, your stuff, anything, everything that you have. You need to know what that means when you get married. All that, it either stays on your side or goes to her side, the 50-50 side. Or if you're married and thinking about going through a divorce, you don't just go file for a divorce. Trust me, I just went through a divorce. Divorces are planned. So you have access to an attorney that says, okay, if you've had enough and you can't work it out, first thing you need to do is try to work it out. That's the best thing, cheapest thing. But the worst thing you can do is just not consult an attorney and just go file for a divorce because I'm going to show that bitch, right? Well, that's exactly what you're going to get you're going to get the most violent bitch, because no woman wants to be cold-cocked and have divorce filed in their face and they didn't even see it coming. You're going to get the worst version of her because she's hurt, she's mad, she's angry, and she wants death.
And she's got everybody on her side because you're automatically a bad guy.
Exactly. So you got to know going through that scenario, or men that are ready to get a divorce and they're willing to pay whatever they have to pay. But again, the best way to do it is to plan it and to know what you're walking into. When you know what you're walking into, sometimes it might be better to stay at home. Depends on your situation, you know. But that's what I'm saying is like membership. That I want to do stuff like that to where everybody, if you're paying for something, I want you to get value. There needs to be value for what comes to the table. And if you can and here's the thing though, it works for my attorney too. He's going to make money by giving his time. And think about it, for $50 or $100, do you know what an attorney charges for an hour? It's $500. If you can find one for $500, and they're all busy. Trust me, they are all busy.
You said it's hard to get him even on the show to talk, right? Because
he's so busy.
Yeah,
he's so busy. He wants more business, but right now he doesn't have time. Hell, the court systems are still a year behind. And you don't think that problems are going to stop because of COVID? Hell no. He's got so much shit coming in, he can't even get it to court. So that's another thing. Do you want to have, if you're going through a divorce, do you want to be sitting out there for 2 years playing with your pud because you get caught cheating going through a divorce or what? That's what I'm saying. It's things like that men, when they're all messed up in the head, they're like, I'm going to show her. I'm going to go get 5 girlfriends. Mistake! And if you think that 50-50 is 50-50, That's perfect. That's 100 perfect score case scenario. No, it's more like 60-40 or 70-30, especially if you don't plan. Now, these judges are wising up to this shit too, because these judges have had their clock cleaned and their ass handed to them in divorces. They're not putting up with that shit no more like they used to. You can't wreck a dude's life. That's what they were able to do for years. Wreck a dude's life and have no...
Decades.
Yeah, and have no repercussions for doing it. No repercussions. And women, you did it to yourself. Not all of you, but the ones that did it, you did it to yourself. We didn't do it. We were just trying to do what we were signed up to do, which was be the man of the house. So calm fucking down. We're still the man of the house, even though we're not. You know what? And to get you back into my house, which is always 9 times out of 10, girlfriend moves in with you. Cheaper. We can save money. No, you can save money. Unless you want to split it, you want to go Dutch. Yeah, you save money, not me. But we're happy to pay it. Be respectful. That's it. So that is, but things like that for most men, like the future plans, is to have think tanks, groups, professionals. I want to bring, if there's professional people out there that want to come on this show and tell me, I want to learn everything. It's like my attorney. I've learned so much just by talking to him and all the cases that he's been through. There's a lot of people out there that they think that the answer is, I'm just going to go hire an attorney and fuck this. No. You need to think things through, because there's a lot of attorneys out there that will take your money and take you on a ride. You really think you want to sue this person? You really think you want to sue him? Okay, this is what it's going to cost you. This is the nut. This is the cost. Okay? This cost takes away from the nut. I've got a perfect person, but I'm not going to mention him on that. They want to sue, but their pile of money that they're suing for and what it's going to cost to get there, it ain't worth it. You're going to end up losing more than what this nut is. And you're giving it up. But it's everything in life. That's the business side. I know business. Okay, that's where I go. Same thing. Bring business people in, for people that want to get out of the grind and all that. And trust me, there's ways to get out of the slave world and all this government shit that's going down. There's ways to get out of it. That's another thing. Bring a lot of good business people in here to where they can tell their stories, to where it's everything is possible. It's still possible in America. You just got to be willing to work your ass off. That's all it boils down to. Are you willing to work your ass off?
It's easy to do when you find your purpose.
That's right. I mean, the harder you work, the luckier you get, period. Nothing in this world comes without hard work. So, you got anything?
No. I guess we'll hit more on purpose and more details of things as we go on. And like you said, obviously we're never going to be knocking women, dragging them down, tearing them down, or whatever, because all the stigmas that they're expecting to come up on this show never will, because they're human beings and everybody needs a purpose too. All these things that they're petrified of and like paranoid about that we're gonna do when we get back in control, and all this crazy stuff they always say that nobody knows what they're talking about. It's obviously, if you don't know what they're talking about, it's not going to happen. All I can do is say, men, put down the video games.
Get your dick out of your hand.
Work, like, Video games are addicting because you start something, you accomplish it, you overcome adversity, and you get your reward system out of it. But you could be putting all of that same process that you go through into a job, a business, a hobby, a whatever. You could find your purpose and build things. Like it's kind of what we're programmed to do. Is the same thing you go through with video games. You should be doing that with something in life instead. Then you generate an income off of it. Then you're like, now you're a real character in a video game inside, but it's real life, and you're generating money from your hard work. And women are ahead of a lot of guys doing that because most women aren't addicted to video games, so they're getting an advantage in the workforce. Where men are just exhausted, they don't know, they don't have any dating advice, they have no coaches, they're getting destroyed by these girls out there, and they're just, I just want to play Call of Duty, just play video games, just go shoot a bunch of people, take out my anger. Could be using a part-time job to go make more money, go buy a house, go invest in things. Put the video games down.
Dude, that is a very good point that I didn't even think of.
We'll be covering lots of stuff for a long time.
Yeah, well, no, dude, I got addicted to a video game. I spent almost $15,000 on this game.
Good God.
Hey, that's a way to grow this audience. We'll dive into the video game world.
Yep.
I'm telling you, it's insane how much people they're on that shit all the time.
There are some benefits to it, right?
There are, but your analogy was perfect. Is you're getting your fulfillments of your achievements, you're beginning to take your emotions out, your leadership. You have leadership if you're good, but that's not the leadership you want. I mean, here's the thing. I wanted to hit on this. Fred, if you're watching, I am on a podcast right now. Quit fucking calling me. Okay? I see, I hear, I'm busy. Rule number 1, I'm putting my foot down with you, you little fucker. When I don't answer, I'm busy. I gave him the news last night. He obviously doesn't like it, but I don't. Life's a bitch. Get used to it. Stuff happens and nobody wants to happen. So, at any rate, there was one piece I'm going to hit onto it next on the next podcast because this was good.
We'll get more into video games later too. One of the things
you keep talking because I don't want to lose this thought.
One of the things that helped me get away from video games is playing a board game, but it's the hardest board game ever, poker. And we'll get into that later because that's a big piece of my identity. Because I became a professional poker player, made a living off of it for a few years, and I started off playing on like free rolls. So it was like a strategy game too. But the difference between this is that you're interacting with live people. And over the course of time, you're going to sit down and play against every type of person you could ever imagine in your head. And you're going to lose to them. You're going to beat them. It's the same process of overcoming and, just those experiences. So if you want to get out of video games, go play poker. You can start for free, play legally.
Or chess.
Chess is a good one too. Chess teaches you a lot of good things about predicting. Life. Predicting people's moves, preparing for them, blueprints. So those two things.
Now, 1 second. Fred, this is why you lost it. This is why you lost it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all good. But yeah, I mean, I would say to get away from video games, go get in front of people and go compete against them somehow, some way. It'll help your entrepreneurship, help you become a contractor, help you do anything different because we all hate jobs.
And your confidence goes through the roof, and it's so much more self-satisfying.
Simply because of your experience. Not even artificial confidence. Because of your experience, what you've gotten through. That's why your confidence is up here.
Right.
Right.
Damn good point. Damn good point.
Put the Xbox down, go get in front of some people, and go dominate them in person. it's fun to talk shit on video games. I gotta admit, I love it. But you can't even do that anymore. They'll cancel you. They'll remove your profile. So go get in person. Go do it. It's a lot more fun anyway.
It is. It is because the thing is now is that people don't even know how to communicate. So all you got to do is talk, and they're like, "Eh." It's like, dear God, what's wrong with you?
I hate it when you're direct now too. You don't beat around the bush. You're just like, oh, they start glitching out.
Yeah, sorry. World's tough. Our parents taught us that from day one. Dust yourself off, pick yourself up, and do it again. I mean, come the. I honestly, with my son's generation, he just turned 14 yesterday. But with his generation, I really do. I think the tides are turning. I love all my son's friends. None of them play video games.
Wow.
None of them.
Interesting.
They do all the cool shit that I did. None of them. You're either, but the thing is, right now where he goes to school, you're either a jock, which, because put it this way, our football team on Friday night, the score was 78-0. That's how good they are. So you're either a jock, prep, athlete, or you're normal. And then there's not many weak people in his school. But they're all into mechanics. They're into all the cool shit that what kids used to do. And they're all respectful. Yes, sir. No, sir. I mean, we have hope. There's hope. But at the same time, they're not putting up with this transgender shit and all this gay and all this LGBTQ and all. They're like, man, we need Trump back. I'm telling you, it's now. I can't say that for the whole United States, but what I see, there's hope. We got hope. So
they just need coaching,
or just let them be them.
Yeah,
I don't hold him back. I'm like, look, if this is what you want to do, as long as you're not cooped up in your room playing video games, and if you want to do this, man, I'm all in. When are we going? I'm not going to. He's a little spoiled, but he's a respectable kid. I can count probably 2 times we've been in an argument, and it was over dumb stuff. Me just trying to make a point to him, saying, "Hey, you fucked up. And this is what happened." And I'm not paying for it again. You're paying for it this time. So, all right. Well, you got anything else?
That's it for now.
Okay. Let's wrap it up on that. So, most man is about building better men. And that's what we want to do. Get your man kit. Get your man card. Get your 12-step recovery program on how to maintain, retain. Okay, before I close out, wah, wah, wah. We got rid of the balls. We had to get rid of the balls. This is our new logo. I like it a whole lot better. But we had a lot of people. That's why I wanted to bring this up on this podcast. We had a lot of people that want to get involved with us, but they just couldn't go with the balls. And, we're moving forward, and we've got a bigger picture for this company than what happened when I started. I was just testing this out and all that, and all of a sudden it got serious, and there's a purpose, and there's all sorts of stuff to do here. So we're going to take it serious, and we don't want. We'll bring him back one day. Okay, if you like him, you like him. I liked him. That's why I picked him. But there's some companies that we can't use that. Like, we're about to start doing billboards, and they wouldn't let us put it on a billboard. And it's little stuff like that. We don't want to be hindered. I've spent too much money in this already. And but I want quality versus quantity. I want quality from y'all. I want y'all to receive quality. And that's what we're doing, is we're taking this thing and we're honing it down, and we're going to laser focus on what this thing's about. And all the other stuff, all the other noise, we'll take care of on another podcast. everybody hears enough bullshit on the TV and radio and all that. We don't want to be filtering you more. So that's what we're doing. Rebrand and replan. But it's not replan. We're going to stick to the plan of what got started.
Right.
The concept of what we started. Okay? So, Tyler, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Great seeing you again.
Okay. So, I'm Mark Mahoney. Thank you all. I want you to like, subscribe, ring the bell, comment, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartMedia, themostmen.com, info@themostmen.com. That's MEN.com. Man kit, man card. Get it back. See you next time. Good night.